Welcome back, everyone. Relationships can be complicated, and that's especially true when it involves kids. In today's Reddit story, it discusses a woman who has a complicated relationship with her boyfriend's ex-wife. Let's get to it. It's from the subreddit True Off My Chest, and it's titled, Boyfriend's Ex-Wife Has It Out for Me and My Cat. My boyfriend, James, and his ex-wife, Marge, both 30s, have 4 kids together, ages 11 to 4. As soon as the last one was born, Marge told James she was a lesbian, she wanted a divorce, and then immediately moved her affair partner into the family home where my boyfriend was still living. It was a bit of a circus for a while, but relatively stable by the time I, 31 female, came along. Marge and I got along at first. I caught her a few times making an effort to avoid me, but when we interacted, both of us were nothing but pleasant. But as James and I got more serious, some things started to change. James stopped giving Marge extra money outside of child support. He still pays for extra stuff for the kids like summer camp, etc., but he's no longer giving Marge extra money for household and personal expenses. The kids have never really had any structures or routines, and they were pretty wild. They're absolutely not bad kids. They're all exceptionally empathetic and know right from wrong. 3 of the 4 of them were diagnosed with ADHD, and so does James. So things were just a bit chaotic. I introduced James to Super Nanny, and we started working on structure, rewards, and compassionate discipline. I have more means than James or Marge, and I use some of my disposable income to spoil James and to a lesser extent his kids. I gather from the grapevine that Marge does not like that. And I think the thing that bothers Marge the most is that 2 of her kids completely of their own volitions started calling me mommy really early on. I never encourage or discourage this. I only told them when they asked that they can call me whatever they want. The kids also can't wait for James and I to get married. They all work together to surprise me and James with a pretend wedding, which absolutely touched my heart. I explain all this so it makes sense when I say that things between me and Marge soured basically overnight. I think it had been brewing for a while. I admittedly made a mistake by bringing the oldest kid to a doctor without contacting Marge first. He was having a severe headache and he and I were on a solo trip into the big city. I contacted Marge's wife to explain what was going on and asked how much he weighed so I could give him Tylenol. She didn't seem very concerned and I didn't think to contact them again before taking him to the doctor. Marge absolutely blew a gasket on me and James, sending us both many-mile-long texts and calling James a dozen times so she could scream at him over the phone and threaten that he would never see the kids again. That was a turning point for the relationship between me and James. I saw a fork in the road and questioned if I really want to stay with someone who has a co-parent like this. But James did everything right. He lied and took the blame for me, even though I insisted he didn't. He did tell me to ask next time, but he told me sweetly he knew it was just a mistake and he wasn't mad at me. He said this in the middle of his phone ringing off the hook after seeing my horrific expression. He kept his cool and dealt with it, and he was patient with me when I left to take a walk and think. He's just that kind of guy. After getting a little space and fresh air, I decided I wasn't going to let her ruin a great thing for me. This is the man I'm going to marry. Marge launched an absolute campaign against me for months after that. She did her very best to poison the kids against me. It killed me watching them go from suddenly beside themselves when I came in the door to frosty and distance. Their dad and I both tried talking to them, alone and together, to try and understand what the problem was. but they were very dodgy about answering any questions about why they were acting weird. But then it was confirmed in a 1-on-4 with James that it was about me, that some of them didn't want me around anymore. James talked with Marge and told her I wasn't going anywhere. He told her we were going to get married, so she needed to get over this grudge and stop whatever she was doing with the kids to make them all turn like this. He pointed out how messed up everything was with her now wife shortly after the divorce and said that he put it behind him for the kids' sake, and she needed to do the same. The next weekend, the kids were all back to normal again, like nothing happened. I was happy and relieved, but also privately very upset that she would use the kids like that as a weapon. Well, that wasn't the end of it. They all came over one weekend and we had a lovely time. I remember the oldest one was rubbing his eyes, which was red, and he said it was itchy. He said it's probably the cat hair from my 10-year-old cat. I said I wasn't sure because I've never heard of someone going from having no reaction to an allergic in that short amount of time. James agreed and also mentioned it was allergy season and it could be anything. It was a short exchange, and then the rest of the weekend went normally. A couple hours after they get back to their mom, the oldest called James and starts telling him in this really panicky way that the cat hair was really dangerous for him because he has asthma and it could become a serious risk of death or hospitalization if we don't get rid of him. James was trying to calm him down when Marge took the phone and started getting into James for not taking him seriously and being really insistent that the cat had to go. The lecture went on for like 30 minutes as James was trying to be reasonable and point out it was too early to say what needed to happen. The text started rolling in after the phone call, where all but she accused him of not loving his son. It all seemed so ridiculous, but James and I agreed to keep my kitty locked in the bedroom while the kids were over, and we started keeping the kids' bedroom doors closed while they were gone. The cat came up as a guilt trip a few times that week. I just told James if my cat had to stay locked away, I wanted to see proof. I needed the kids to see an allergy specialist because it just seemed way too convenient. So he started setting it up with Marge. It took a long time, but it finally came back. Results are in. The oldest is not allergic at all, but the second child has a 3 mm wield. Marge said to James, anything above a 2 mm is a severe allergy. Sure, Jan. That's my rant. I'm fed up, but at the same time, I'm getting kind of empathetic about the antics from that side of town. I keep telling James, and he to me sometimes, that the day will come when the kids get old enough to look at all their memories critically. All we can do now is just hold our heads up high and let it roll off. Only 14 more years to go. Wow. Let's see what some of the commenters have to say. First comment says, I hope you're documenting everything. A judge needs to see what the F that unhinged lunatic is doing and tell her to stop. Another commenter says, it's wild that she cheated on him and is still with her mistress and lives with her and parents with her, and is upset her ex has moved on and is happy. She's incredibly selfish. I'm sorry you've been put in this position, but I'm glad that you and James seem to love and support each other and have a great communication. It's the key to getting through this nonsense. Best of luck. I hope she gets it together soon before she destroys her relationship with her children. Another commenter says, it's quite common for cheaters or crappy person in the relationship to over-exaggerate or create non-existent issues of their partner, i.e. he sometimes leave a cup on the table, don't even clean up at all, or other stuff that they don't feel guilty or bad when cheating and being bad, almost a righteous type of behavior. The OP responds to that comment by saying, she cheated on him many times throughout the relationship with men and women. And the wild thing to me is the years they spent in a dead bedroom relationship, her claiming she had no attraction for him while also being extremely jealous and possessive. I read enough Reddit to know that a serial cheater is liable to project their guilt onto their partner and to accuse the innocent partner of cheating. But I don't know, it's still wild. I don't get why she even worried about it since she clearly didn't love him. It's like she so wanted him to be guilty of something. After the relationship was over, she just lied to make him look bad after the truth didn't win her any sympathy. That was during the circus era, but it's calmed down now. I really hope she does too. I hope she gets help and get their kids help too. It doesn't seem likely though, unfortunately. Wow. Another commenter says, is he sure all the kids are his? The OP responds, he was definitely thought of that before, but he concluded a long time ago it wasn't worth getting paternity checked. No matter the paternity, those are his kids. Good for James. Another commenter wrote, my husband ex is like this. Cheated and kicked him out, but when she found out about me, she hated me and stirred up trouble with me constantly. She kicked him out and the affair partner moved in. It makes absolutely no sense why she behaves this way. It's a small town. When I see her, I smile and wave, make her so angry. His kids are adults, but when one lives with us, we had to tell her she couldn't come here. The OP responds, hello. That's exactly my situation. Her antics gets me sometimes. I hide it from the wives and the kids, but she makes me very mad sometimes. I read every comment and seen so many pieces of good advice for James and how to navigate this. I wonder if you have perspective on how to deal with my own emotions. I've tried some things. Therapy has helped me unload my feelings safely, but I like to grow into a person that is more detached so my emotions doesn't cloud my judgment. Is there anything you've learned along the way that helped you secure your peace? The commenter replies by saying, I just tell myself she's a narcissist and not worth my time. I don't have to see her if I don't want to because the kids are adults. When she posts things, I laugh. I just don't let it get to me. I've dealt with people like her a lot in my life. Part of the reason me and my fiance connected is we both had bad marriages with narcissists. She usually scowls at me when I'm in the same store. I smile and wave and she stomps off. The OP responds by saying, I've dealt with people like her a lot in my life. I think that's going to be my best bet is more time and experience. In my adult life, I've become very good at recognizing toxic people and slamming the door on them forever. It served me very well so far, but left me without the tool I need for this particular situation. I think it's getting easier though. Every outrage is a little smaller than the last. Thank you for your feedback. I'm so glad that the OP is getting some good feedback from the Redditors. So I just wish the best of luck to the OP and for her to hang on tight. I would love to hear about what you guys think of the OP situation in the comment section. So please leave it in the comment. And if you like these type of stories, remember to continue to like and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later.